Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this particular video, we'll solve one more problem related to income from house property. Mr. X is the owner of the property. It is given on rent of 11,000 per month. So the rent was 11,000 per month. Municipal value of the property is rupees 1,35,000. So municipal value they have given. Municipal value is 1,35,000. Fair rent is 1,43,000. Fair rent is 1,43,000 and the standard rent is 1,30,000. So all three kinds of rent they have given. Municipal tax paid by Mr. X. So the assessee has paid a municipal tax of rupees 26,000. On 1/4/2022, that is the starting date of our previous year, rent is increased from 11,000 per month to 14,000 per month. So they are increasing the rent from 11,000 to 14,000 with retrospective effect from 1/4/2021. Retrospective effect means even the change was done to the previous year also. So previous year actually he had paid only 11,000 per month. Now he has to pay extra 3,000 per month for previous year also. That is known as arrears. Arrears of rent are paid on 1/4/2022. So the tenant is paying the arrears of rent on 1/4/2022. That is the starting date of our previous year. Find out the taxable income from the house property. So now again we have to do two columns. One is for the previous year 21-22 and 22-23. So take two columns, particulars, then two amount columns 21-22, 22-23. So first you have to compare municipal rental value with fair rental value. So municipal rent they have given the 1,35,000 and fair rent is 1,43,000. Out of these two, whichever is higher, we will consider it as notional rent. 1,43,000 is higher, so we will consider it as notional rent. Next, notional rent will be compared with standard rent. The same notional rent will be compared with standard rent. Standard rent, they have given that it is 1,30,000. So 1,43,000 is the notional rent. 1,30,000 is the standard rent. Out of these two, whichever is lesser will be considered as reasonable expected rent. ಇದೆರಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಬೆಲೆ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ reasonable expected rent ಅಂತ consider ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Now this reasonable expected rent will be compared with actual rent. ಈ reasonable expected rent ನ actual rent ಒಂದಿಗೆ compare ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. So now the formula to find out actual rent is annual rent minus unrealized rent. Annual rent minus unrealized rent. So in the first case, he had paid 11,000 per month annual rent. First case ಅಲ್ಲಿ 11,000 per month annual rent na pay ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. 11,000 is for 1 month. We need to calculate for 12 months. Minus unrealized rent is 0. So we get 1,32,000 minus 0, that is unrealized rent. So the net answer will be 1,32,000. Out of these two, whichever is higher, it will be considered as GAV before vacancy period loss. It will be considered as GAV before vacancy period loss. Next, from that we have to deduct vacancy period loss. In question, they have not given any details related to vacancy period loss, so we will consider it as 0. After deducting that, we get GAV after deducting vacancy period loss. GAV after vacancy period loss. From that, we have to reduce the municipal tax paid by the SSC. So in question, they have given 26,000 municipal tax. This is paid for the previous year 22-23. E tax 22-23 ke sambandhapattiradu. It is not related to 21-22. So no tax here. So the balance, whatever you get, that is the net value. So balance ಏನೇ ಬಂದರೂ ಅದನ್ನ net value ಅಂತ consider ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. For that net annual value, we have three kinds of deduction under section 24. First one is standard deduction. Standard deduction is 30% on NAV. So 1,32,000 into 30% will give you the standard deduction, that is 39,600 rupees. Next, you have second deduction, that is interest on borrowed capital. There is no interest on borrowed capital in the question, so it will be 0. If you deduct 39,600 from 1,32,000, you will get the total income, that is 92,400. This is one part. Now we have to look for 22, 23. So till reasonable expected rent, it is same. Now here what has happened, they have changed the rent for 14,000 per month. So they have changed the rent for 14,000 per month. So it will be 14,000 per month into 12 months minus unrealized rent is 0. So 14,000 into 12 will be 1,68,000. 1,68,000 minus will be 1,68,000. Out of these two, whichever is higher, that is 1,68,000, it is considered as GAV before vacancy period loss. 1,68,000 is considered as GAV before vacancy period loss. From that, you have to subtract vacancy period loss. So there is no vacancy period loss given in the question. So the GAV after deducting vacancy period loss will be 1,68,000. Less municipal tax paid by the SSC. In question, they have given that municipal tax paid by X is 26,000. So that 26,000 we have to subtract. So when we subtract, we will get 1,42,000. For that, we have to give a standard deduction, that is 30% on NAV. So 1,42,000 into 30% would be 42,600. So if I subtract this 42,600 from 1,42,000, you will get 99,400. 99,400. There is no interest on borrowed capital. So this is a total income. For that, you need to add arrears. Now we need to add arrears. So for that, we have to calculate arrears. So for that, you have to take two GAVs. GAV when it was 14,000 per month minus GAV you have to subtract when it was 11,000 per month. So here you have, look here. Okay. GAV when it was 14,000 per month, it is 1,68,000. When it was 11,000 per month, it is 1,32,000. Subtract both. When you subtract both, one second. Sorry, you have to subtract GAV 11,000 per month minus GAV 14,000 per month. So then GAV 11,000 per month is 1,32,000. See here, 1,32,000. GAV when it is 14,000 per month, it is 1,68,000. When you subtract both, you will get the arrears, that is 36,000. That will be the arrears which you have to pay. From that again, you have to have a standard deduction of 30%. So it will be 10,800 is a standard deduction. So that when you subtract, the arrears to be considered after deduction will be 25,200. So this arrears I will add it over here. So after adding that, the total one will be the income from taxable income from house property, that is 1,24,600. This is how we need to solve the problem. In this problem, they had given arrears. So in exam, if they give arrears, then you have to calculate like this. This is how we need to solve the problem. Hope you have understood how to solve the problem. In my next video, I'll come back with some more problems related to house property. Thank you for watching the video. I'll come back with the next video.